Hello and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. In the last episode we kind of just did some, I want to say team building, but it was just a casual talk between Yoshiki and the player about alternate versions of each other, as well as confronting Katashi and making sure he doesn't feel kind of like he wants to lose the next game. Of course, it's the Vogel's turn to break the rules, and pretty much that's all there was really, so time to see where this goes. There were several cries of outrage and frustration. Melody crying got louder as she clung to her father.
And the punishment is?
The room fell completely silent as we waited with bated breath. And the punishment is to play the game basically today instead of, later, or sooner.
The deletion game!
Dai spread her arms theatrically as she made this declaration. The room remained silent.
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. Was I not clear enough? Allow me to explain.
It's now daily.
Instead of holding this round of the deletion game on Sunday as planned, we'll be playing it right now.
But most of us are still half asleep.
It's kind of the Vogel's fault.
So, it's no skin off my nose.
You don't have skin. The captain took a moment to consider her words before pursuing her argument.
Dai, if multiple crew members are half asleep during the current round, not only would it affect our ability to play the game, it could lead to something terrible.
Like their deaths?
Like a boring game.
Much worse, I'm afraid.
What could possibly be worse? Don't keep me in suspense.
Dai's eyes lit up like about the gruesome possibilities.
If everyone is half asleep, no one will perform well, and the game would be boring.
Dai gasped, completely taken aback.
Boring? No. The game can't be boring. Games are supposed to be fun.
True. Kimiko shrugged noncommittedly.
I know, but I guess there's no helping it now.
Nope. Although Dai was doing her best to maintain her composure, it was clear Kimiko's argument had touched a nerve.
All right. I'll give you all an extra hour to wake up and prepare so that you can all bring your A game, okay? But that's the best I can do under the circumstances.
That sounds fair. I'm sure we can all make do with that.
But who's gonna die now? Everyone seated at the table nodded in unison. With these new terms established, Dai seemed to regain her usual composure.
Okay, good. You are to return here in an hour for the first round. Until then, however, you are still forbidden from communicating with each other.
Interesting.
Oh, and Trixie.
What?
They're both leaning forward. Interesting.
Is an hour long enough for you to fix this?
I feel like we've had this conversation before. Dai made a vague circular gesture with her index finger in Beatrix's general direction, screwing up her face in disgust. Beatrix stormed towards Dai, her eyes filled with murderous intent.
I'll fix you.
That's what we're trying to do. Nicholas shook his head in disapproval and grabbed his sister's arm and began to edge her, as she began to edge closer to Dai. With a self-sustained, satisfied smile, Dai's form dissipated before everyone's eyes. At least Nicholas didn't say anything this time. Beatrix let out a frustrated cry as she wrenched her arm free from Nicholas's grasp. Nicholas painfully ignored his sister's frustration and focused on the task at hand.
Now isn't the time for this. We need to prepare for the first round or we'll be putting ourselves at a serious disadvantage. Let's head to the rec room and work out our strategy.
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan.
Oh no, they know our plan. Yoshiki grabbed my hand with one hand and Katashi with the other and pulled us out of the anticipated dining hall and towards the rec room. We arrived at the rec room and Nicholas immediately started discussing our strategy.
I've been considering two particular strategies.
Lay it on us. Alright, let's hear
Our
them.
first option is to go through the rounds with 2 people on 0 each time in order to spread the points over the other 2. In doing so, we'd increase their personal pools and hopefully win the rounds, assuming the other team decides to spread their points over all 4 people.
And the other option?
Assume they're doing what I just described, and spread out our points over all 4 of us.
Because then they would all build up. How would we go about spreading our
We'd
points?
have to play it by ear until we saw the results of the first round.
I like the first option. It's interesting.
That makes sense. No point nailing down a plan when there are so many variables in play.
Says Yoshiki, who dislikes maths. Dai suddenly chimed in over the intercom.
Please assemble in the dining hall for this week's deletion game. Round 1 starts in 5 minutes. Woo!
Definitely didn't sound like feel like an hour. That certainly didn't feel like an hour.
It wasn't. It appears she was giving us half an hour at best.
What? But that's not fair!
Since when does Dai care about fair? Well, she was going to make us play on the spot. A half an hour is still better than nothing.
I guess.
Don't worry.
Okay, let's make our way over now.
For the second time that morning, we headed to the dining hall where we were forced to play the game, a deletion game once again. We arrived to find Dai lazing about, gazing at her nails disinterestedly.
Oh, goody. Everyone's here.
But you're not.
Now, I
There you
know
are.
I said an hour, but just look at you all. There's nothing quite like the risk of death to wake you up in a hurry, is there? All right, let's play.
All right.
Very well, Dai. Let's get this over with.
I love your fighting spirit.
It's more like a survival spirit, right?
Okay, so what I will need is for you all to wait outside during the other team's turn. You will get up to 5 minutes in the room to decide on your points allocation. Then after that, you can input your choice on the main terminal. However, all hands will have to be placed on the terminal in agreement.
All okay.
Team A, you are up first. Team B, get out.
The members of Team B hesitantly left the dining hall and left us alone with Dai in the dining hall. A dining table was now projected a shimmering holographic terminal.
Your 5 minutes starts now.
Understood.
Okay, I've put together promising configurations. Please choose whichever one you prefer.
Okay then. It seems like Nicholas wants to lose with us. So I guess we'll spread everything out
Is
first.
everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, let's do this. Go with this. I put the allocation using the terminal, and everyone placed.
Thank
hand
you
of
for your
approval.
entry. Please exit the dining hall so that stinky Team B can assign their points.
We quickly shuffled out the dining hall. Team B entered. Yep. Nicholas leaned up against the wall, and his fingers pressed against his glasses, and his eyes deemed thought.
Frustrating, isn't it?
Indeed it is, Katashi.
This is the first time we've had dialogue between the rounds.
Aren't all games frustrating?
Not all of them. Nicholas and Katashi both smiled at Yoshiki as if he was a simple child. He is a simple child.
Yes, but this one especially. There's no way for me to determine their numbers with any degree of certainty. It relies almost entirely on luck.
After a few tense minutes of waiting, Team B exited the dining hall. Dai followed, boisterous as
Wonderful
usual.
start to the betting wars. Both teams are fighting hard. Now let's see the results of round 1. If you would be so kind as to draw your attention to this screen.
Dai protected a screen using the same light as she was made of.
And the winner of round 1 is...
Us. Hooray.
It was a close one, but Team B is leading the charge.
Oh yeah, 8-7.
Let's move on to round 2.
So they're all piling it
Team
on one
A,
person.
you are up again.
most likely Melody.
Please follow me.
Dai walked in, through the wall and made her way back to the dining hall. Oh, we made our way back. One of the two.
Your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay, we are losing, but we still have 2 battles left, so we are still in this.
I'm only 1 point behind. Oh no, we're already losing? I'm going to kill someone.
Get a hold of yourself. There are still 2 opportunities for us to turn this around. My suggestions are
7 to... okay. Let's go with me with 4, I guess. And put the allocations using the terminal, and everyone had placed their palms.
Thank you
in
for your
approval.
entry. If you would be so kind. And
Everyone tied? Interesting. That's the first time that's happened.
really? Tie? The probability of this is...
I also think our face looks weird.
Please, Dai, no more maths. I get enough at home.
This is your home.
Very well, Yoshiki.
Team A, you are up again. Please follow me.
Okay. So, all or nothing on this
Your
one.
5 minutes.
I know. Okay.
I want to die.
Here's what our options are.
No, I think filing it all on Nicholas might help. That's 9 for them, that's only 3 for us.
Maybe I put the money on the wrong. Let's get
10 to 17.
Congratulations, Team B. And that means. And the lucky winner of the wheel is.
Us. Nicholas, what?
Well, the average hotness of this crew is about to take a major dive.
No, 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 no.
I guess it's the opposite of Beatrix
No.
this time.
First off, Trixie. It can be anyone I say.
That's true.
And secondly, he lost the game, fair and square.
I guess I did.
That's unfortunate.
Nicholas, I'm so sorry. We didn't do this on purpose.
We didn't.
We didn't choose you or want you to lose.
I know. The points simply fell this way.
I mean, it was your suggestions.
How can you be so calm?
Someone has to die. I'm just glad it isn't you.
Well, I'm not.
Yep.
I'm sorry, kids.
This is where Beatrix starts to kill everyone, got it?
No, wait. Not sorry. The other thing.
Happy.
Excited.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's it. Excited. Let's
Spin the wheel. Dice Skullful glowing wheel of deaths appeared beside her, lights flashing.
So, Nicholas, please tell the audience, what kind of death are you hoping for today?
I'm not answering that.
Interesting. Why?
You'll stop the wheel on the opposite.
Fair enough.
Are you implying that the wheel of death is rigged?
Then why don't you just say the opposite? Like, if you want to go by drowning, just say, I want to be set on fire, then... Because if you hadn't pointed it out, Di wouldn't know, and then...
How dare you, sir?
It's not real. Of course you control it.
Fair enough.
I have never been so insulted.
I imagine we could do better.
You don't trust the will? Fine. I will choose for you.
That's the same thing.
To the medical bay.
Do you have to poison yourself? Nicholas started to move towards the medical bay, but no one else
Come
moved.
on. We'd better do what she says. We all know what will happen if we resist.
Nicholas, how are you taking this so well?
It's bought my sister another week, and she is all I care about in life and in death.
Damn, you don't care about us? Beatrix was now sobbing uncontrollably.
That's not. Nicholas. This isn't fair.
This whole thing isn't fair, dear sister.
Nicholas placed his hand on either side of Beatrix's face and forced her to look up at him as he spoke calmly.
It's no more unfair for me than anyone else.
It's true.
All right, enough chatter. Let's get moving. Come on now. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
At least it's not like left, 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 right, right, right. We didn't march, but we did hurry into the corridor towards the medical
There
bay.
must be some way to fix this.
Time travel. Nope. Keep marching. We're almost there.
Left, right, left, right, left, right.
She kept up the marching rhythm for the rest of the walk, shouting so loudly that no one could hear over it. Though Beatrix kept trying to speak. Once we made our way to the medical bay, she continued the rhythm right until the surgical room.
Left, right. And stop.
Katashi stopped so suddenly that I walked into his back. The captain had to grab me to stop me from falling. Nicholas, if you would hop onto the chair and we can get started. Oh, that's going to be
Don't
disgusting.
I get goodbyes?
Di sighed and rolled her eyes. Fine, 2 minutes. I don't know why Di suddenly stopped talking. Nicholas went to the captain first, nodding to her head with a slight smile. I was impressed that he managed to stay suave and cool, even until preparing for his death.
Captain, I appreciate that you've been doing your best under the circumstances. I don't want you to feel responsible for this.
I'm sorry.
You didn't program Dai.
Yeah, but her mother did.
Well, no, but
I'd appreciate it if you could be patient with my sister and give her some leeway for a while.
I mean, that's fair. She did lose a family member.
of course.
Thank you.
His next goodbye was for Beatrix. But we didn't get to hear it. He drew her aside and spoke in a low voice. I bet it's to kill me. To kill me since I was the captain. Beatrix is not as cool and suave as her brother. She continued to whimper as she reached out and hugged him. The hug lasted maybe 30 seconds before Nicholas pulled away. He whispered to his sister again before coming and standing in front of the rest of us.
I'm ready.
Do we not get goodbyes?
Congratulations, Nicholas! You have won exsanguination.
I'm not exsanguination. I don't even know what that is.
Who knows the meaning of the word exsanguination?
Someone medical, most likely.
No.
Not you. Unfair advantage.
I'm assuming an operation-related thing.
Sanguine is Latin for blood. So logically, exsanguination involves not having blood?
Oh, blood loss.
Ding ding! 10 points to the lady at the front.
They're draining all this blood. Okay.
Nicholas doesn't have any blood?
He won't by the end of this, Yoshiki.
No, Yoshiki. I have blood, but I will die from blood loss.
Gasp.
And I'm gonna need a volunteer from the audience.
And you're gonna make it Beatrix. It was no surprise that nobody would put up their hand.
Come on, don't make me pick someone.
Katashi stepped forward.
Better me than Beatrix. What do I have to do?
I mean, at least Beatrix could possibly make it clean and or steady. Thank you, Katashi, I guess.
Don't worry, you'll just be doing some light killing today. I don't believe it's habit forming. If symptoms persist, please see your doctor. The one that's still alive, that is.
Yeah, all I could do is just kind of inhale at that.
No disrespect to either Dai or yourself, Katashi, but I think I can handle this.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
Oh, Nicholas, you make me weak at the knees. I really am going to miss you.
Too much information. Nicholas took a seat at the medical bay and began to process himself. He placed the needle into his right arm and watched the blood start spilling into the above bag. He placed his glasses on his leg and he placed himself comfortable.
Now everyone knows the rules. Stay back from Nicholas during his time of need.
Please, keep my blood in storage, in case anyone needs it in the coming weeks.
That is morbid. Nicholas. Jesus Christ.
Over my dead body is anyone touching your blood.
Honestly, I agree with Beatrix. It's really morbid.
Beatrix.
Sorry, brother.
No, honestly, Beatrix is in the right on that one. Melody was standing beside Vladimir, watching with great interest.
I like Nicholas. Is he going away forever?
Yep.
Like Mommy and Shizuka?
I'm afraid so, sweetie.
I honestly don't know. I wouldn't know how to say anything to comfort the child.
Why don't you turn around now?
Melody shook her head.
I want to see what Dai is doing. Will it hurt him?
Good question. I would imagine it would feel like going to sleep, right? Because you'd get dizzy, you'd pass out, it'd continue while you were unconscious.
I don't think so. You can look for now, but you have to turn around when I say, okay?
She won't. She'll turn into a psychopath.
Okay.
Well, audience, our glamorous assistant was next to useless, but a round of applause for his enthusiasm to kill a fellow crew member.
I mean, it's a good thing, because now he didn't directly kill anyone. There was silence.
I said applause, or else.
That's, honestly, this is childish. As Katashi came back to the group, we put our hands together for a few unenthusiastic claps. Melody copied.
Nicholas, I'm sorry.
We all are.
Now, theoretically, he should die once I've drained 1/3 to 1/2 of his blood volume. But I'm keen to push the boundaries. Let's see what he can handle.
Honestly, if I was getting executed in this way, I'd try to go to sleep. Like, airlock, I doubt I have enough time. Being burned alive, I doubt I'd have enough time as well. Losing oxygen sounds like a good way to go for able to go to sleep, because you go to sleep, you die unconsciously. I mean, you'd pass out eventually anyway.
For science!
Nicholas Vogel, your service to the Everett has been exceptional. We honor your sacrifice today, and we will remember your bravery and integrity. Salute!
Those of us who make it this far. The crew saluted, Melody copied and did the same. It's highlighting a lot of Melody.
Well, now, that's interesting. Only 30 seconds and already his pulse is way down.
He looks a lot like Vampire.
Keep your eyes on those vitals, folks.
The bag is close to exploding. Di was pointing to the screen readout, which showed Nicholas's rapidly falling heart rate. His blood pressure was on the same screen. It dropped very suddenly.
He's going into shock after only a 5/8 loss of blood.
I don't want to. This is actually making me recoil.
Disappointing.
Nicholas's skin was gone white and translucent, and the hairs on his body had started standing up on edge. Melody turned around now. Melody did turn to face her father, but she kept saluting. Nicholas dropped out of consciousness and slumped in the chair as the room was filled with Beatrix's cries and monitoring machines let out a vital alarm tones.
I don't know. I feel like that could have gone better.
But you chose this one?
We'll have to remember for next time.
That's unfortunate.
Now, because we have another medic here, and I don't trust her at all, we will now wait the customary 6 minutes to ensure that revival is not possible.
Di seemed flippant about waiting around. I mean, that's fair. Beatrix has the most reason to try.
So, Capitan, anything new in the world of space and stuff?
Space and stuff. The captain just rolled her eyes and refused to engage Di in conversation.
Rude. Just rude.
Are you going to talk to us? Minutes passed as the room was silent, other than sobs from Beatrix.
Okay, team. Time's up. You may now approach the corpse. Woo! Speaking of time, I hope to see you all again soon for the next deletion game.
Oh, vampire children. I forget.
Thanks for playing.
With that, Di disappeared. Beatrix ran up to Nicholas and started to embrace his now lifeless body.
Beatrix.
She's going to tell us to shut up. Looking up from Nicholas, Beatrix started glaring at Katashi, Yoshiki, and I.
This is all your fault.
She's going to kill us. She didn't shout. Beatrix's voice was cool and filled with a detached rage.
You did this to him.
I mean, technically I'm the captain. I did this to him. Without another word, Beatrix turned and gently kissed Nicholas's forehead, pulling the needle from his arm. Took the blood blood bag he'd filled and left the medical bay. The blood bag looked like it was about to burst.
This isn't Team A's fault. Katashi, can you help me with his body?
I mean, I doubt Beatrix is going to want that.
Of course.
Do you think it hurt a lot?
Not until shock happened. I don't think so. I think he went to sleep and didn't feel anything else after.
That's good.
You should not be talking about this, Melody, your child. I think so too. Kimiko and Katashi went into the room to deal with the unpleasant reality of yet another body. The rest of us went our separate ways, most of us to our quarters, to hide away and wonder who the deletion game would take next. No one, because Beatrix is gonna kill everyone. Well, that, and I'm gonna teleport out of here. Oh, I didn't read that, damn it. I froze the moment and realized someone was holding my hand. What the? A muffled voice coming from the covers.
Hey, bestie. It's just me.
I turned to listen, the lights on to see what was going on. You look stressed and crazy. Yoshiki, what are you doing here?
Even when asleep, your hand still gripped me back.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You are still alive.
For now. Yoshiki seemed distraught, but cheerfully distraught.
I felt your hand hold me back.
What's this about? Yoshiki's cheerful distraught demeanor shifted into just distraught. Yoshiki began mumbling to himself. Yoshiki was still a bit shaking up after Nicholas's death. Of his mumbles, I could make out team and stranger.
A dead stranger.
Yoshiki twitched before grabbing my hand again, albeit slightly aggressively.
You're not dead, and you're not a stranger. You're You.
Yeah?
You're
Yoshiki?
alive. Your hand, it holds me back.
Wake up, man. Wake up. I pulled free my hand and let it rip. I slapped it was crisp, and the noise echoed through my quarters. It wasn't the time, but I was impressed with how well I slapped Yoshiki. Yoshiki, you need to hold yourself. Yoshiki let go of my hand and gently touched his cheek, and was already red and swelling. His eyes started tearing up, perhaps I hit him too hard.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't go crazy on me, man. You're the last sane person on the ship. Well, I said that. I'm sorry, but did I hit you too hard? Yoshiki's demeanor appeared to melt away in return to the lovable, playful Yoshiki I came to know.
It hurt. But it hurt because I'm alive. And so are you.
There we go. Am I supposed to support this? I don't know. That we are, bestie.
Sorry for getting so weird with you. It's just...
Yoshiki paused.
You mean a lot to me. And...
I waited hesitantly for Yoshiki to finish.
I would be really upset if Dai took you out before I did.
Before you take me out? Are you gonna kill me? Yoshiki laughed and jumped out of my bed.
Well, until next breakdown. Toodles.
I feel like we just got threatened. Before I could even reply, Yoshiki had run out of my quarters. I looked at the time, for almost 5 in the morning. I guess I could get a few more hours of sleep. I curled up back into the bed and got those few more hours of sleep. I woke up feeling refreshed. Perhaps having Yoshiki sabotage my sleep was good for me. Thinking of Yoshiki, I figured I should probably check on him. He's probably dead because Beatrix killed him. I made my way to the engineering bay out of instinct. Are you alive? Hey Yoshiki, you feeling... He wasn't there. I looked at my tablet for his location. In the rec room, I made my way to the rec room. When I arrived, I found Yoshiki sitting and staring intensely at the chessboard. Hey bestie, how are you feeling?
Oh, perfect timing!
I'd happily play against you.
Do you
in chess.
know how to play chess?
I do. I guess so, but I've never played with any other person.
Did your parents teach you?
No. They didn't have the time for that. It was just one game application on the pod's computer.
So a computer taught you?
Pretty much. Yeah, I guess it did.
Can you please teach me how to play?
I can try. Why, there's an interest in chess?
You were right. We aren't dead yet. And so I need to lift my gaming skills if I want to survive.
I guess because these are technically games, and we did take out the best gamer in the ship first. Except myself. Are you dedicated to learn chess? Why not just play some of Shizuka's games? Yoshiki looked away for a moment.
She never let me play them when she was alive. Why should now be any different?
Because if you don't play them, they're going to go unplayed forever. At least, just don't delete the saves. I took a moment before I responded. Chess it is then, let's get started. What games do you know how to play? I'm almost sure chess it is then. You want to be respectful of them. Okay, first things first. Why always goes first?
Why?
I mean, the joke here is probably... I don't know.
The origination of such a rule is debated. However, using probability, I have calculated the most likely answer.
I mean, technically, because the answer I've heard the most is most likely a joke, and that's basically just racism. Oh, you scare me. I had appeared by sides of the chessboard, no warning, and just started a spiel about chess. Yoshiki didn't even seem fazed.
So why does white go first, Ai?
Historically, black was considered a lucky color, so to award black first move as well would be considered unfair. Hence, white goes first.
I mean, that makes sense, because if you think about, like, all the legends about, like, for example, Black Knight, it's usually, in the Dark Horse, it's usually like, oh, they're the odd ones out, but they're usually the lucky ones.
Well, I want to be black, then.
Okay, then, you're gonna lose then. That doesn't sound like... What? That doesn't sound like the most probable. Is this supposed to be a skin color joke?
Oh, you see straight through me. You are correct. That was just the most interesting possible reason.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about what Yoshiki said. That didn't make sense to me. Right, so what's the reason with the highest probability? White goes first because someone has to go first, and there's no game at all.
Wait, that's it?
I am afraid so, Yoshiki. Do you prefer the other possible reason?
Yeah, because that actually makes sense. Because then, that logic, why doesn't black go first some games and white goes first some games?
Yeah, it was way more interesting.
Yeah.
Very well. I will set that reason as the default.
What? You're changing history, though.
I'm black! I'm black!
Are you, though? Okay, I heard you the first time. I bowed and disappeared without even saying goodbye. Do you know what the pieces are called, or how they move?
Negative.
Okay, front row pawns. They all move forward 2 on the first turn, if you choose to. Otherwise, they move forward 1 when attacking. They can go diagonal, and I'm pretty sure only diagonal. I'm not entirely sure. And then you've got the rooks. Basically, can go any direction as long as it's in a straight line. Bishops anywhere, any direction as long as it's in a diagonal line. Queen can do both. King can only move 1 space in any direction, and knights only can go in L shapes. Okay, I'll just read this, then I'll call it there. Okay, for the front line of our pieces are the pawns. They can only move directly forward 1 space, unless it's the first turn, and then they can move up to 2 spaces, and they can attack diagonally for 1 space. Pretty much. Anyway, with that, hopefully you had fun, and hopefully you look forward to learning about chess next time. With that, goodbye.